This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engaging with audiences, and sell anything from products to content to time. All in one place, all on your terms. My t-shirt today says Trans Chaos. Look at this. Isn't it brilliant? I love it. Today's video is not trans related, but I just wanted to wear this t-shirt, so here we are. Hey Spuds, it's Jamie. Welcome back to another video. First video on the channel. I don't know, but welcome either way. I'm very glad to have you here. Yes, we are back with the Bad Women's Anatomy. Oh, that is what we're doing today, and I can wait. I really can wait. Bad Women's Anatomy is basically a collection of things that are misogynistic, not very nice, and just being mean to women for the sake of being mean to women, and also very unrealistic body goals and expectations for women. Obviously, on this channel, and as we should be generally accepting, we accept and know that trans women are women and that not all women have the same bodies and anatomy, whether they're trans, whether they're cis. A lot of the stuff in here is based on anatomical features, but broadly these posts are targeting people specifically because they are women, all and any type of woman. But just acknowledging that not all women's bodies are the same. This is just a collection of posts that target people specifically because they are women, and sometimes that is to do with body expectations, sometimes that is to do with reproductive organs, sometimes that is to do with just good old-fashioned misogyny. Oh yes, are you ready? And what are we kicking it off with today? What category of post? Drum roll, please. That is the creepiest drum roll ever. I'm so sorry. It's like an octopus trying to do a drum roll. We are kicking it off with unrealistic expectations, also known as where do the organs go? Where do they go? This shoulder to waist to hip ratio, and it looks more prominent on the beige colored mannequin with the black top, like the beige trousers and black top combo. I don't know if that's because of the clothing or the angle or if it is just a different shaped mannequin, but wow, there is no waist, and that's like the waist of the trousers, and then they just violently go out. Never in my days since Tomb Raider from the noughties with Lara Croft have I seen shorts like this, because they unzip. These are back in style, the unzipping trousers into shorts. Wow, those are the types of garment that I just relate to my middle-aged father on holiday. I don't really know how anybody would feasibly fit into these trousers, and if they're waist fit, I feel like there would be too much room in the hips. I just, no. My boyfriend got the jab. I did not, and I stopped having periods for 4 months immediately following his first dose. I'm 45 and no, I wasn't pregnant. If just being around someone vaxxed could have that impact on my reproductive system, I can't imagine an impact on a pregnant woman. I think, friends, we are seeing something called a coincidence. I don't know why this happened to you, but I don't think it's because your boyfriend got a vaccination. God bless America. I feel like COVID really brought back to the forefront the anti-vaxxers and how passionate they are about spreading diseases and catching them too, apparently. I don't get the whole anti-vax and all the conspiracy theories about it. I don't get a lot of stuff, I don't get Bad Women's Anatomy, transphobia, and anti-vaxxers. There is more, but those are the ones that are relevant for right now. Yeah, no, I really don't think this is because of the vaccine. Children don't have periods. Women do. Hope this helps. When you have your period, you are now a woman. And if you never have one, sue your mum, lol. Right. So this is very stringent.
The definition of being a woman is having a period. If you never get a period, you are never a woman.
Does that mean you were just a genderless child forever? Or are you now a man? I don't know what this person would think. When you have your period, you are now a woman. I mean, like, when I was at school, some kids were starting their period at like 11 years old. And I don't think that's particularly unusual. They are now women? Really? Holy shit. This is a very interesting take. It's not like people never get a period until they're 18. Ever. Just doesn't happen. No. Wow. Let's just be friends. Look at that donut. I'm strong and independent. Oh, look, a different kind of donut. We know they're not showing anything, right? Just donuts. Nothing to see here but donuts. Ready to settle down. Why can't I find a good man? This attitude is disgusting. Anybody who agrees with this or would make something like this. Ew. Right, I'm not sure what this says, but I would like to draw your attention to the shape of the bride's spine. Now that's a semicircle. That's extreme. And then the butt going out like that, and then the legs. That's a very interesting shape. She kind of looks like she's made out of a waterfall with the dress lines as well. Unrealistic expectations of extreme curviness. Yay. We're going to take a very quick pause in the bad women's anatomy because I have something to talk to you about today that may or may not give you some deja brew. Do you remember the tea business I talked to you about recently? Well, unfortunately, the popularity of the tea business has led to a worldwide tea leaf shortage. The horror. The Brits are quaking right now. Despite being an long time coming, this venture has been short-lived as Squarespace allowed me to create such an amazing website for it. It surpassed all expectations. Squarespace can allow you too to create beautiful websites to engage your audiences. You can sell online using Squarespace's online store, whether they're physical products like tea bags, digital like tea-based recipes, or service products like tea making classes. Squarespace has all the tools you need to get selling online. And not only does Squarespace make it easy to create an amazing shop, they also make it easy to get paid for your products and services with their flexible payments. This makes checkout seamless for customers who can pay using credit cards, PayPal, and even Apple Pay. And you can keep an eye on your website growth using Squarespace's handy analytics. For Sharp and I's actual real website that's not going anywhere, these analytics let us check on things like top traffic sources and the geography of site visitors. You can also get insights on sale metrics and understand how your reach is growing. Basically, Squarespace gives you all the data you need to scale your business. Now that the tea business is no more, please comment down below what job you would like to see me try next, and I just might use Squarespace to make it a reality. So don't kettle for second best. Go head over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Jammidodger to get 10% off your first purchase for website or domain. The link is in the description box. Now back to the bad anatomy. Ooh. What? I'm a woman, and no, I don't shave my face. Just because you don't means others don't.
Yes, my one individual experience is now worldwide. Everybody experiences the same thing as me.
I feel like some people live in that bubble of just like, because I do this very unique thing or don't do this thing or whatever, then that must mean
everybody has the same experience.
Well, that's weird. Women shouldn't grow facial hair. Women shouldn't grow facial hair. Like, I'm just coming in to let you know that the hair on the face of the woman, no, not natural. I do generally find it very, very bizarre that it's just fully acceptable for men to be whatever level of hairy. Like, men cannot have beards and not be able to grow a beard and not have any body hair really and be pretty hairless. And nobody goes around going,
well, you know, it's not manly if you can't grow a beard.
I mean, maybe some guys feel a bit self-conscious about it, but it's not this big thing that it's like men must be really, really hairy. But it is a thing that women must be hairless. More double standards. What I don't get is body hair is perfectly natural, and some people grow more than others. For some people it grows darker, so it's more noticeable what they do grow. It can grow anywhere for anyone. Like, I'd say if the inside of your elbow is really hairy, that would be more unusual, but nothing wrong with you. It's always like the men coming in to be like,
well, I know about women, and I know exactly how many hairs they should have on their bodies. It's 0.
Just so bizarre. Just let bodies be bodies and do their natural thing, because what I don't understand is hair grows. It just grows. How is that unnatural? It's literally the most natural thing, because it is naturally occurring hair that is growing naturally on your body. Exhausting. I read a midwifery guide that was printed in 1799. Here are some gems from it. Oh no. 1799 midwifery guide. This is going to be awful. The book is The Experienced Midwife by William Salmon and Aristotle. 2 men. My brain read forward before my mouth, and I was reading William Salmon. I was reading the surname Salmon, and I could not make sense of it. My brain initially went Solomon, and then I was going to go Salmon, and I was like, no, it's salmon, Jamie. We got there in the end. You didn't need to know any of that turmoil that went on in my head, but there you go. Sharing is caring. I thought this community might be interested in some outtakes. Here are some things it said. 1. It is not the having these parts, but the unlawful use of them that causes shame regarding female anatomy. What would constitute unlawful use. Why would there be laws over the use? Why? Oh, this is gonna make me angry, isn't it? The larger the... Oh, I don't think YouTube would like it if I said that. We're gonna censor it. But something down there is the more lustful the woman. A woman cannot conceive if she did not enjoy the sex. I mean, not true, but... And I feel like that's being said for bad reasons. However, this could be a PSA of do better. Maybe pay attention to how much your partner is enjoying the act and put a bit more effort in if they are not enjoying it. Embryos are nourished by menstrual blood until the umbilical cord forms. If the menstrual cycle doesn't stop with pregnancy, it is because the embryo couldn't eat it all. What? My automatic reaction is telling me that that is atrociously wrong, but I don't want to be like one of those confidently incorrect people. I feel like I should Google, but I don't want to Google. I know it's not true. Why am I doing this? Yes, it is false. I did not need to Google that. Pregnancies with female babies are more painful than those of sons. Before they're even born, the dislike towards women is already starting when they are at fetal stage.
They're more painful, it's more complicated, more annoying, more difficult for you if your baby is a girl.
I just feel like that's where that was going. A sinewy production called the urachus leads from the bladder to the belly button to expel the urine of the fetus. Anatomists say no such organ exists, but the writer knows it does because he knows 2 adults who told them they could pee out of their belly buttons with no negative impact on their health. Because 2 random ass people are like,
Yeah, bro, I pee out my belly button.
this guy has now gone,
The baby pees out of the belly button.
no. How utterly horrifying would that be if you got pregnant and just all of a sudden... Umbilical cords should be cut longer for boys as it makes their penis longer. Girls' umbilical cords should be cut short so their vaginas will be narrow. This will make them acceptable to their husbands. Oh, I knew this was going to be bad, but this is the worst. This is so uncomfortable and inappropriate and disgusting and wrong and just no. Conception can't happen without love. No. If their hearts be not united in love, how should their seed unite to cause conception? And this is evidently evidence in that there never follows a conception on a something very not nice, on a something horrendous. That whole thing is lies. Virgins letting blood from their arm before their first period causes barrenness because it prevents blood from falling down to the womb, which makes it dry up. Virgins should have blood let from the foot. I can't. Women who have frequent sex and older women have grisly...
She's talking about me!
Prince Gristle!
Oh my god. I could actually cry. This is so ridiculous. And I know that it's like over 200 years old and the understanding of medicine generally was atrocious, but it is just so uncomfortable. We are not close to getting women's equality in the world now, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was, and it's just horrible to realize how awful it used to be. I mean, it's still awful now, but at least we've made some progress on some of these points, or at least some people have made progress on these points. Not everybody. I feel like there are some people out there who definitely believe a bunch of this. There was some very useful information in this book, but it had shocking misogyny plus lots of dodgy medicine and a smattering of racism. Is that not surprising? Cis women generally don't have hair on their legs. If you know women who do, they are most likely trans or have some kind of hormone imbalance or just couldn't be bothered to shave, because actually I'm just thinking of the women in my life who we have conversed over hair with, or I know shave, like they all shave, they all grow leg hair. Again, it's just this ridiculousness of like,
Hair is not for women. They must have long, luscious locks on the head, but no hair anywhere else. Apart from one solitary hair on the big toe.
I would not be surprised if somebody said women have body hair. It is normal. Stop saying it isn't. Women's periods. Is this a plot hole? What, as if they're removed?
Is this a plot hole in period? I have found the problem.
I noticed that somewhere in my manuscript it is mentioned a female MC needed to change underwear yesterday because it had been stained by period blood. However, in the on-screen events of the previous day, that MC acted normally and cheerfully without feeling pain or anything. Is that laughable? Will it make female readers go like, does this guy even know what what being on a period is like. No woman can function normally during those days. I think this is very much ignoring the fact that painkillers exist. Not everybody experiences period pain and discomfort to the same level. And also, people learn to push through quite a lot. I think you'd be surprised. It's like when cis men are hooked up to the period pain simulators, and even on like the lowest settings, they are just not feeling good. They are hating it, and they're like, how? People just get on with it. That's not to say people should, and that's not to say that everybody can, because there are different levels of pain experience, and some people really do get very debilitating symptoms with their periods and very debilitating pain. But that doesn't mean that everybody will, and it also doesn't mean that people don't have a way of managing that pain or pushing through that pain. I appreciate that he's at least asked this question to try and understand more about portraying like realistically what it's like for somebody to have a period, but it's very interesting, some of the views. Women live longer because they have periods. Lots of blood during periods lowers their iron accumulation, and too much iron is harmful. Their blood is thinner. They're more prone to anemia, but generally thinner blood and low iron is good as long as you're not outright iron deficient. Haven't they found that like generally when we're looking at just men and women live longer because they take less risks and are more likely to, on average, take care of their health? I don't think it's anything to do with periods. Using affects belly belt plus waist belt. No. You know what you should do? Crush your organs. It's uncomfortable that it's advertised that it would have that kind of effect. 2, that you should do something that would compress your body that much in that way. And 3, that it would just even be necessary at all, and it's not okay for people to have a tummy. Like, sorry? No. Was this designed so people could wear those trousers from the beginning? Most controversial belief I have. Oh dear. Women living longer than men isn't good. What? I believe it is best for women to live maximum life of 30 to 40 years. After that, she should have right to die, and public should support it. I know I am being crazy and stupid. Then why did you post it? Why are you having this opinion? Oh my god, 30 years old. This just reads of like,
I deem women to have no value in society after this age, or no value to me, the arsehole writing this post, after the ages of 30 to 40 years old. So therefore, as they have no value to others or to me, or I view they have no value, they should just not exist.
How horrendously disgusting and self-centered and just stupid. I don't know if I can believe that someone would genuinely have an opinion so awful. But when women reach middle age, what is her value? Oh, just because you're a raging misogynistic arsehole doesn't mean that people, human beings, women don't have value beyond a point when you view them as having value. Like, you should just go get in a bin and stay there forever. She lose beauty, youth, and now have to deal with menopause, which is seriously like disease. 30 to 40, that would be uncommon. I feel like this person is some like 13-year-old boy who's just been brought up with very horrendous views or watched too much Andrew Tate. At least men develop his value with age. Maybe for kids, husband, it seems a good idea to live longer, but rest doesn't make sense. Men are designed to love variety. When menopausal woman can't give sex, man isn't going to like it. I also don't believe marriage is beneficial for men. Older women aren't appreciated and bring nothing to the table. Holding in so much rage. Women aren't like men who can run the world. I believe we are basically designed for pleasing men. I believe we are is this written by a woman? I believe we are basically designed for pleasing men and bearing child and have values only for 20 years. Also for men, it is more exciting to date younger women than older women. So why should we live longer? Also, kids do need a father figure in their life, otherwise it causes a lot of issues. I know comment section will be like war. Just wanted to let it out my belief. Literally one of the worst takes I have ever read. One of the most horrendous paragraphs I have ever come across. I hope that is just an awful joke. No. Question for boob enjoyers. Boob enjoyers. Hello, I'm currently figuring out my sexuality. I'm male and I have a question about boobs. Do people actually like them? Like, do you see a boob and think that's hot or you want to touch it or something? I don't really understand the appeal for them, and I'm just wondering if this is something everyone thinks and that's just a thing about boobs, or people actually find them hot. Sorry if this is worded badly. Wait, that's actually a good question. Why are boobs attractive? They are like meat sacks full of milk. They are weird. I do think breasts have been like over-sexualized, and you know, their function is not as a sexual thing but as a feeding thing. But some people enjoy them, and if it's like mutually consensual that it's enjoyed, then why not? I think if you're not into that, that's fine. It doesn't mean that you're not into women if you're not that into boobs. I'm very stuck on the meat sacks full of milk bit, and I feel like that's why this post made it into this subreddit. Do they think that everybody with boobs just walks around with like full-on pints on their chest all the time? They do realise that milk is only produced under certain circumstances, right? And like, are we not all just meat sacks? Why the boobs specifically? If you like them, you like them. Cool. Like, it's bad to over-sexualize, but it doesn't mean that they can't be found attractive at all. You have a problem with fetuses in your womb? Simply close your womb. Flip that side closed.
The muffin shop is closed!
Yes, it is that simple. Just close the womb. Not open for business. Secret underwear pocket. Most women's underwear has a secret pocket, right? What is the purpose of that pocket? It is meant to fit tampons or other small items. How many of you already knew that? I have never seen a pocket in like women's underwear. I've never seen that. Yes, that is why women's clothes do not have pockets. It's all in the underwear. I literally never seen that. I don't think that that is where tampons and other small items go. I don't know what it would be for. It's literally not something I've ever seen though, so if anybody is aware of why there is a pocket in some underwear, I'd love to hear it. I don't know. Very fascinating. Does woman have colon? Yes, everyone has a colon. Typical. Or man versus woman arms. The man arm is muscular with an elbow and big hands. Why specifically an elbow? The woman's arm is slender, apparently with no elbow. Oh, with a wrist bone though, and dainty hands. So men don't have a wrist bone, but they do have an elbow, and women have a wrist bone but don't have an elbow. All women's arms are just straight all the time. No elbow, no bending of the arm. God's timing is always perfect. Trust his delays. He's got you. Have faith. Jesus tending to a sprig of a plant in a womb. Mummy, how are babies made? Well, a little apple seed is put up there and then a plant literally grows, but actually that's very dangerous and go to the doctor if you have a plant growing in your womb. This is interesting. Yes. Let's all tend to the plant in the womb. Water it, nourish it, let Jesus caress a leaf. And we're all good. This is like somebody never moved past the birds and the bees chat that you give a 4-year-old. And then a seed is planted in the mummy's tummy and it grows into a beautiful tree. Did you know that up to 25% of competitive female athletes lose their periods and half are on the pill so their periods won't interfere with their sport? So their sports are more important than their ability to have children. Maybe females weren't created for competitive sport. Mate, this is a woman. This is the woman saying that like the most important purpose of a woman's life is to have children. Not everybody wants kids, and why is it so atrocious and like shocking that some women would be on a pill or do a sport or not have a period or put other things in their life first over and above having children? Not everybody wants to have children, Pamela. Don't know where that name came from, I'm sorry. I think it's a relief for men when a woman dresses with dignity. They have to be constantly on guard when speaking with girls who put it all on display. When a girl is covered, a guy can actually pay attention to the conversation. Can I just say that if a guy has this issue, that is his problem. That is something he needs to deal with. That means there's something wrong with him. Women can dress however they please, and men should absolutely be able to hold a conversation, be able to control themselves, be able to be respectful regardless of what the woman is wearing. And also, whenever you hear this, it's not talking about like nudity or literally wearing like a stringy thong or whatever. It is because people have like a bit of cleavage on show, or because a woman is wearing a crop top or something. And I'm like, you should not be going out in public if you struggle that much to control yourself. If you cannot pay attention to a conversation with a woman because some of her body is on show, or she's wearing tight-fitting clothing, or she's not literally covered head to toe, then that is a you problem, and you need to go sort that out before you go back out in the world. A girl should have to be covered for a guy to actually pay attention to what she's saying. That's dumb. That is very dumb. Not really. It goes down to basic biology. Why is it always basic biology with these people? Women undress to attract a mate. Men are attracted to the physical attributes of a woman. Forgetting that gay people exist, and forgetting that we also undress to have a shower and to get changed. Like,
Ah yes, the best way to attract a mate. Let me just undress and stand here until one finds me.
that is so bizarre. Her skin glowed from the rubbed in grease, and her whole being, face and body together, seemed swollen from the vast amount of food she had ingested. I'm tired, everybody. Men only want one thing, and it's this. And the image shows, I won't show it because there's a little baby in it, but it shows a woman who's very like slender and toned, wearing a bikini, carrying a baby. Men in the comments saying they don't want their wives to become hideous after birth, but then want her to look like this 3 months postpartum. I'm so sick of men, lol. All I want is for you to destroy your body birthing my progeny and then look like a model immediately after. It is disgusting. I wish there was a way that those men would have to be the ones that give birth and have the bodily changes that come with pregnancy. And then they're just thrown on a treadmill and given celery and told, get back to where you were before. If you think it's that easy, do it, arseholes. After 3 months, that's ridiculous. But after 9 to 12, it should be easy. First, breastfeeding is free weight loss. Second, you should be running around after a baby. Not many babies are walking by 12 months, right? Like, babies do not walk, but they're not running. Third, you should be eating a diet high in beef, which will make it hard to overeat. Eat the cow. That is just a mess. The expectation on women to have their bodies bounce back after giving birth, and like pregnancy and giving birth is like a hugely traumatic thing for a body to go through. And it also depends a lot on the individual person, whether they would ever have the body they had before pregnancy. And I don't think there should ever be any pressure. You've literally grown a human being and you now have a newborn to care for. Why the hell are we throwing pressure of like, and now you need to look perfect? No, who gives a shit? You look after yourself in the best way possible, eat the soft cheese, and ignore the arsehole men who say this. Like, seriously, I wish they could go through it. Women over 25 hate women under 25 and deliberately attempt to sabotage them by convincing them not to date older, rich, successful men. This is from Andrew Tate, by the way. Women hate those younger than them because bitterness is the steam that arises from evaporating eggs. Oh, basic biology, everybody. Evaporating eggs. If you're standing near to somebody over 25 who has ovaries and you just hear like a little boop, that's an egg evaporating. How does he explain periods then? Oh my god. This just reads like a,
hey, let me throw some words together to try and convince women that like older men are best.
date that grandpa. Because women have a natural hourglass shape, this is literally something brought up in Art 101. You can adjust the volume of it or proportions, but this is literally how women are shaped based on their hips. That looks nearly as extreme as the mannequin in the beginning with the trousers on. No. It's just like generalization of like, all women experience this, all women should do this, all women should not have that, all women should have this body type, and this is the correct way for a woman to look. Oh, it's just disgusting. I'm sorry. I hate it. I'm sorry it happens and I want to fix it. Fortunately, that was the last one. How did we like this dive into bad women's anatomy? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and do go check out Squarespace and let me know what job you want to see me do next. Go click that link in the description box. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.